This is just a quick shout out about Jump Point. I'm going to be attaching this in several videos. It's a Traveler Con that we're going to be holding on November 6th, 2022 at Games Plus in Mount Prospect, Illinois. Admission is free. There's going to be at least 2 games run. I'm looking for Game Masters, so come on, Game Masters. Get in here. Any edition of Traveler is fine. GURPS, T20, Classic, anything you want to run is fine. The only thing I ask if you are going to Game Master is that you have characters ready to go for everybody. No rolling at the table. I want the game to actually start running right away, and then be ready to run about anywhere from a 3 to a 5 hour game. So you'll have up to 7 people at your table. If we need to accommodate a smaller table, we could split tables and do as low as 3 people. So any Game Masters, any Traveler, this would also include Cepheus, would also include Clement Sector. Come on in. If it's Traveler, we're going to play it. So it's November 6th, 11 a.m. at Games Plus in Mount Prospect. I'll attach a link below. Definitely bring some cash. Games Plus, the best hobby store, game store I've ever been in. And you're going to want some cash on hand. They have a ton of stuff, thousands and thousands of figures, lots of Traveler stuff, lots of other game stuff, playmats, you name it, they've got it. So come join us for Jump Point on November 6th. And now to today's video. Welcome back to page 121. In front of my spiffy new Jump Point logo. That's for the Jump Point Con that's going to be taking place on November 6th in Mount Prospect, Illinois. There'll be a link below for all the information on that, and I'm probably going to attach a little promo video for it inside here somewhere. Today I want to talk about, in Traveler, this would be any edition of Traveler, so Mongoose Second, whatever. I want to talk about deep space jumping, and this is not jumping into an empty hex with no planetary bodies. I'm talking about jumping away from planetary bodies in a probably inhabited system. So just going to the outer areas of the system. Why would you do that? You have to spend so long in normal space coming back, or you have to do a micro jump to get back to the planet. Well, my thought was, what if I didn't have to do that? What if I had something set up out there in the area away from the planets, out of jump shadow? I have a station set up, and I could have somebody jump in, drop off their cargo at this station, top off their tanks for a fee, and jump out again, all right there. Very nominal, normal space movement. And I thought, well, that's not a bad idea. I may have to work on something like this for one of my games. And then when I started doodling with it a little bit and making up a couple of notes on it, it kind of struck me that this could actually become something a corporation would look into. General Products is the one that leapt to mind, but there'd be a few others where I was just calling it Quick Commerce. And the idea is QUIK, of course, Quick Commerce. And the idea would be, if I was a captain of a far trader, I could jump in well out of jump shadow to this specified station. I could make dock, refuel as my cargo was unloaded, and head back out again. The cargo then is taken from the station by dedicated non-jump freighters from the station itself into the system where it would be traded and everything. But you could have brokers on board the station who would buy the commodities, things like that. And I thought, well, this would be kind of an interesting idea because it would cut your travel time down significantly. If you have to wilderness refuel, you're looking at 3 extra days generally, possibly longer, depending on the size of the jump shadow from the gas giant you're going to wilderness refuel, or you have to pay a fee at a station or on a planet. But even at that, to get to the planet, you have to enter the jump shadow and everything else. And I thought, well, this would be a better way to do commerce. Just have a station dedicated out there that would bring you in, offload you, top off your fuel tanks. You pull away from the station a little ways and jump right back out. And I thought, well, this is an idea I'm going to have to develop. And I thought, well, I'm going to share this with everybody. So here's my idea right there. I've just thrown it out there, Quick Commerce. And the idea would be that there would be a series of these stations. So maybe I'm a captain of a far trader and I want to use my hull tonnage, my storage to freight, thank you, couldn't think of the word, my freight space to just bring freight from one of these Quick Commerce to another. And I get a fee for each time I go, and I get refueled, and I don't pay any kind of fees for dropping off my stuff. And I thought, well, that might be a good way for someone to run just very quick commerce from station to station to station. If you had a link of 2 or 3 of these, and if they were a few jumps apart, if you were doing it 3 different stations, so A, B, C, and I went to A, picked up a cargo, brought it to B, refueled, took it to C, I'm looking only at a little over 2 weeks commerce time for 6 parsecs, because I'm not losing my time in normal space. And I thought, well, this is almost like the X-Boat network, but for freight. And it would be an expensive undertaking, to be sure. And I have not cracked the numbers on how much it would cost to actually set something like this up in universe, and which corporations would be best to do it. It'd have to be a megacorp just to have the capital to start this up. But it would be an interesting way to kind of monetize the movement, in maybe off of a main, or maybe in different sections of a main. If you had this set up in a main, but you had jumped 2 vessels dedicated, you have ships that are going to go to your deep station and get the cargo and then jump and jump. They're going to beat their competitor possibly by weeks, who are taking a jump 1 main to get the same cargo places. So just an interesting idea. You could also do it for passengers. No reason you couldn't pick up passengers at each of these deep stations. They would get out there by a tug or a jump capable vessel that would do a micro jump to get them out there. They'd have some fun in the local casino, and then they would board their ship and you would jump them to the next leg of the trip. And with a sequence of these, you could make some pretty fast commerce and pretty fast passage. But you could also, once you got to the station, there could be a dedicated shuttle that would take you to the local planet. Or if you're on vacation, a pleasure cruiser would be docked there waiting, maybe not jump capable, just take you out for a week or 2 just to enjoy the luxury of being in space and enjoying the accommodations. So just a quick idea on that. I also thought of how this would benefit pirates. If I'm a pirate and I have the ability to set up a deep space station, I'm thinking in an asteroid belt somewhere, outside of a jump shadow, and I have a way to have fuel there, I can top off my fuel tanks, that would be a phenomenal way to be a pirate. You bring the pirate in, he has no jump shadow to worry about. He gets right to where he's headed because he jumps in close. He goes ahead, he tops off his tanks. Oh my gosh, it's a raid. From a minimal distance from the asteroids, he could simply exit into jump space. So there's a lot of different ways this idea will work, and I realize this is not an original idea to me. The quick commerce is original to me. If there's something else out there, please let me know about it, but I have never read anything about it. But the quick commerce idea is mine, kind of an export route for goods and services. But I also thought about the pirates being, I would rather be in an asteroid belt, maybe not too far from a Jovian, gas giant. I've got the word Jovian on the brain. Maybe not too far from a gas giant, where I could still hit somebody as they're coming in to refuel, or however I want to do it. Now keep in mind, space is massive. So catching somebody at the 100 diameter jump point to come into a gas giant and then they go in on a normal space to the gas giant to refuel, you're not going to find them. You're going to be better suited to sit and lie in wait somewhere around the gas giant with your sensors just on passive and just looking for prey. So you're still going to be in jump shadow there. But if you have a place where you can take that cargo, you hit that vessel here, you can take the cargo a little further out in the system in an asteroid belt, drop your cargo off, top off your fuel, and out you go. That's a good way to stay ahead of the law. So just some ideas for basically a deep space station away from jump shadow, and ways you can just have it work for you, either legally, which would be through commerce and passengers, or illegally through being a pirate. So just a few ideas, just throwing it out there. If anybody has anything they want to expand on this, I'd be really interested. If there's articles out there that I'm missing, please let me know. I'd really be interested in reading up on this topic. I have a massive traveler library at my fingertips, both electronic and physical. I would really be interested in finding out if something was done in this magazine or that magazine at some point, and something I would need to read up on. So that's all I've got to say for today from page 121. Again, I'm always looking for subscribers, so if you can subscribe, that'd be fantastic. Come join us. Also, we've got Jump Point, which is happening November 6th. I'll put a link below. Still looking for Game Masters on that one. And if you're coming, bring money. Not for entrance. It's free, but it's in the best game store I've ever been in. They have a ton of everything there for you. You're going to want some cash in your pocket. to walk around and enjoy. Now, when I call this a con, by the way, it's really just us in the back of a game room in a game store. We're going to have about 3 or 4 tables. But I'm going to make it as traveler-oriented and as traveler-friendly as I can to make it feel like a con. But, of course, we won't have vendors. I'm going to do a couple free giveaways of my own personal stuff that I've collected over the years, doubles. And I'm going to give some of that stuff away as door prizes, or I haven't figured out how we're going to do it yet. We may even decide that day how we're going to do it. But I'll have 3 or 4 things at least, maybe a little bit more. I haven't gone through it yet and picked it yet. So some of my stuff goes all the way back to Little Black Books. And most recent thing that I would have to give away would be probably in, I think, the Mark Miller's Traveler. I have 1 or 2 doubles in there. A couple issues of challenge, stuff like that. But that's all I've got for today. On today's topic of basically deep space stations, please let me know what you think. If this is something you're going to use in your campaign, let me know. If this is something, like I said, there's written down I've missed, please let me know. That's it for today on page 121. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.